Hey, welcome back to The Art of a Life Well Lived. I am Christine Regan Lake, and it's good to be back here again. So today I am here to do a What Are Your Blockages reading. And sorry if, sorry that I wasn't able to do some readings for a few days. Hit a little bit of a speed bump with my health, and so got kind of caught up in that for a little bit, and so wasn't able to do these readings as I like to do, as I'm trying to do every day. So let's get started. So today, the first card that I picked that came up was the Failure Blueprint. So the Failure Blueprint is essentially that you have a deep-seated belief that you are a failure and that everything you do fails. Now, again, obviously these readings are timeless. They're so whenever they find you, they can resonate with you. But if they don't resonate with you, then the message isn't for you. So don't worry about it. Don't try to make a message fit that doesn't. So let's get back to the Failure Blueprint. So the Failure Blueprint is really about having a belief that you simply can't do anything right, and that no matter what you engage in ends up being a failure. The Failure Blueprint can come about from having parents who were overly critical when you were a child, who would pick apart anything that you did. No matter what you did, they would find the fault in it. They would find what was wrong with it. What this did was instill in you the belief that, whatever you do, it just doesn't work out, and it's always a failure, and it's never good enough, and that kind of thing. Now, the challenge with the Failure Blueprint is that when someone has a Failure Blueprint, this can inhibit them from keeping moving forward on their dreams, and it can make you procrastinate because you're like, well, what's the point? It's not going to work out anyway. You get very pessimistic, and so it's very difficult to either start or complete projects that you engage in because your mental mindset is it's a failure before I've even started, so what's the point? So it's really important that you cleanse and purge that belief about the Failure Blueprint. The next thing that came up was financial denial. There was definitely a theme of money, because in the next row as well there was trauma debt. And when I picked more clarification on this with regard to the Failure Blueprint and the money, it came up that this is a family issue. So more than likely you may have a generational curse, a generational imprinting in your subconscious mind, in your cellular memory, that makes you believe that you are a failure when it comes to, your career, your money, and your finances. As a result, you have ended up in trauma debt, and so you may have a small, medium, or large amount of debt that you have hanging over yourself, and it's because you go into financial denial. You don't want to look at your bills. You don't want to look at the credit card bill. You shop when you want to feel better. You spend money that you don't have. You live above your means, things like that. So this is critically important for you to, if you want to move forward and have a healthy, happy, joyous, prosperous, and abundant life, you must cleanse and purge and release this negative imprinting that you have in your cellular memory, in your DNA, that you're a failure and that you are not good with money, that you have to look away from money, that you are in denial about it, and because of that you then engage in irresponsible behavior and irresponsible spending that you don't have. So super important that you do that clearing work. Get to understand where those events happened in your childhood. That's one of the things that I do. I actually have an entire course on this. It's money mastery mindset, and it's on my website. And because I struggled with this as well, this was definitely something that I had to overcome. My my mother had serious issues with money. My father, not so much. He always trusted, but my mother had serious dysfunction when it came to money. her parents both came off, well, her father came off the farm in Ireland, and her mother was one of 12 in England who was actually put in a orphanage because they didn't have money enough to feed them. So I came into this world in my cellular memory with trauma, like with money issues around money. And so that was something that I had to clear, and that was part of the reason that I created that money course for people, is because I know what it's like to be in that dysfunctional, unhealthy pattern with money, and it's an awful place to be. And then if you have debt hanging over you, it creates an incredible sense of just constant worry, fear, and anxiety. You can get triggered into fight, flight, or freeze mode with regard it, like you're just always triggered. So that's not good. So the next thing that came up was you want to embrace more self-care. And one of the things that you want to do is physical touch. So physical touch may be one of your primary love languages. So you would benefit from embracing some self-care rituals. Maybe, get a massage, get a pedicure, things like that. Have that physical touch with another human being. Because there is something called skin hunger, where people can experience deep feelings of hunger for skin touch, and it doesn't have to be sexual. It's just human, right? Like getting that massage will help with that. So after trauma debt came, be patient and trust in God's divine plan. So what you're encouraged to do is to be very conscious about making the decision that you are going to close down all the negative patterns of the past, and you are going to open up to, this was the next card, you're going to open up your crown chakra. You're going to do crown chakra meditations to open up your crown chakra and really connect to your higher power, to God, source, creator, however you see him or her to be. And so you want to open up that connection, and then you want to trust in God's plan. And what God wants you to do is to embrace your creativity. So your value is creativity. Now is the time to embrace a creative project that you have been interested in doing. That came out twice. So the creativity project came out twice. So you are being encouraged to embrace a creative project that is deeply connected to your soul, a divinely inspired project that is going to feed your soul. And in the past, maybe you didn't pursue it because you didn't think that it would be financially viable, things like that. God doesn't care about your worries about money about it. You are being encouraged to embrace your creative spirit. And when I asked for further clarification on that, it's take some quiet time. Take some quiet time to really get clear on what is it, how is it, like how do you want to be in the world, what creative project, what creative spark lies within you that you would like to bring to the world, because your creative imprint is unique and is unlike anybody else on the planet. The next thing is that fairness, so mayat. So if you trust in God's plan and you move forward with your creative endeavors, you will be compensated fairly. This is not the past. Things will be fair. It's not going to be like the past. It's not going to be a failure. You have to believe in yourself. You have to have the courage to be bold. That was the last one, Freya, to be bold. So be bold and take that leap of faith to pursue your creative divine spark, because the world will, every time someone embraces their divine spark, their unique creative essence, and they move forward with that, that raises the vibration of the planet, and it also, you become a leader for others. People see you being your authentic self, having the courage to pursue your creative endeavors and do what you are most aligned with in terms of your soul and spirit, and it inspires them. So you become a leader, you become a light leader to others, that if you have the courage to pursue your creative interests, your creative spark, the divine essence that is you inspire others, and it's a ripple effect that goes out into the world. It's a very beautiful thing. So in terms of some of the self-care, two things that came up specifically regarding your health was that you could potentially have a fungal infection. So you might want to, if you're having any issues specifically, that you're clear that something is off, you might want to go to the doctor, and you might want to see if you might have any kind of fungal infection or something like that. Or you could go to the health food store and just proactively do like a antifungal cleanse, things like that. You would also benefit from taking some ginger, which is good for a number of different things. It's good for anti-inflammation, and it's an antioxidant. And so again, you were encouraged to meditate. This goes along with the get quiet and meditate. So it's super important. God just wants you to slow down, meditate, and really get clear on what is your divine path, what is the creative spark that you have to bring to the universe that nobody else on the planet has. Because what you have is beautiful, it is rare, it is unique, and it is valued, and the world wants to see it. So have the courage to embrace that. And so that's the message. It was kind of a quick little short message today, but that's the crux of it, that you are being encouraged to lay down the negative patterns of the past, of the failure blueprint, thinking that whatever you do is a failure and that you are a failure, your projects are a failure. It's time to close that chapter. It's time to remove the anchor in your nervous system that anchors that belief into your body and your being. That's one of the things that I provide in my services, if you needed that. You need to release the financial, your perpetual negative relationship with money, meaning that you're in financial denial, you spend money you don't have, you put yourself into like credit card debt or this kind of debt or whatever it is. You're basically just living above your means, and it's time for you to stop that negative pattern and to get quiet and instead move forward in a more authentic way, in a healed and whole way, to pursue your divine creative spark, to share that with the world. So that is what my message is for today. So I hope you found value in that. If you didn't, well, then hopefully one of my next readings will be a help to you. If you like this video, please like, share, or subscribe to my channel. That helps me get my message out to those who need to hear it. And I'm so grateful to have you here. Every like, every share, any engagement that you do at my channel means so much to me, and I really appreciate it. And I look forward to doing another reading for you in the future. So hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.